Hello, I've just downloaded the 30-day trial of Camtasia. I think for some of you, you might have to sort of decide really when you're going to download it, that kind of 30-day trial. There are some that are free, some that you pay for, some that you can beg, steal and borrow from various websites to get the code. But we shan't go into that. I just wanted to take you around. Let's have a look. I've got my Facebook page. Okay, so I'm going to go on to Digpim website. This is the unit blog, and what I've done for you just now is I've put up a list of links on here for you to use for screen capture. There's the link for Camtasia, the one I'm using now, which is the 30-day trial. On the blog as well, Gary sent me a link about BBC News, how to make money from your photos, which is quite good. I'm not sure why Oh No isn't working, but there's a really good group for using your laptop as a light source. Photography competition as well, and 500 photographs. And also, I put some links up on here. A really good selection of work from last week. So well done, everybody. Yeah, so what normally happens is I'll get a load of images. I normally work with iPhoto on the Mac, and then sometimes I go into Photoshop and or Lightroom to adjust them slightly. But most of the time I use iPhoto, and I find it very easy. I've gotten to know it. I use it quite a lot to get rid of color casts and things like that, and do kind of cropping. So it's really basic image editing work that I do. And then what you can do is you can obviously kind of double click. Ooh, system's a bit slow. And then I go into edit. And that'll allow me to bring up this window, so if I wanted to get it slightly darker. I always work with the top sort of threshold graph here. And on that, and you've got the different temperatures down here, so I can kind of bring in a different sort of temperature on there and take that out as well. Years ago, when I had to do colour film printing, it was a nightmare to try and get the colour balance right. But nowadays with digital, everything's sort of more or less taken care of for you. Some editing programs also have buttons that you press and it auto corrects it for you. It would be good if you start to experiment and start to do some of your own, so you kind of get to know the different colour channels. If you're getting real big problems with colour casts in your images, you either accentuate that, or one thing you can do is just completely get rid of the colour. So you just go down to saturation, turn it into black and white, and that gets rid of any kind of colour casts and things that you're going to get in that shot. So yeah, so that's some little tip for you. I also do a lot of my editing in the iPhone itself. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find, well, nobody's made one yet, a screen recorder for the iPhone. What lots of people do is they hold their camera, the phone up to the camera, but it's not great. You can't see that much. But yeah, it's yet to be developed. So those of you with developing skills, please make me a screen recorder for the iPhone. Okay, so yeah, so normally what happens then, if I want to upload this, drag it into my Flickr uploader, which is on here, and I click on it, and then I start to give it a title on here, and skyscraper, and I give it tags. By putting in tags, it means it gets picked up in search engines and things like that, which is very good. And I've also got my sets on here in Flickr, and I can choose which one it'll fit in, if anything. But I could go for colour, I could go for iPhone, that kind of thing. And I've also got one for iPhone mixing, where I mix different apps together, one after the other. It also lets you kind of block it from people. So if you only want your friends to see it, or if you want anyone to see it. the reason that you do all this in Flickr is so that people can see your work. And I've had numerous elements of my work published over the years, and a lot of it's actually come through Flickr, so it's really good. And people need to find your work, and they search on certain keywords, and those keywords get picked up. So that's why it's important to put your tags in. Yeah, so that's my first little screen capture for you, and I'm now going to go back to Camtasia, and somehow I'm going to try and, here we go, stop recording.